Kick 5 girls in the bed.
Do.
Happy birthday. Oh, wait. What's going on today? What are we doing?
Wait, Merry Christmas. No, wait,
Happy, this is welcome to Ghosted. Welcome to Ghosted. Shit.
No.
Chris, you do it.
Wait, I think it's WestleShoot. Yes, welcome to WestleShoot. Yeah, thanks for showing up. I'm your host, Chris Casanova, and of course, my other host, the very talented, beautiful Rob Wilds.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, sweetie.
No problem.
So we talked about what we did movie night, which was, by the way, a raging fucking success, dude. Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies, as terrible a movie as it was, a lot of people had a great fucking time watching it with us. So
making fun of it.
Thanks to everybody for watching Pro Wrestlers v Zombies with us for movie night. Movie night will now be held every second Sunday. Is it Sunday, Chris?
Yes, every second
Sunday of the month. We're going to do a new movie that we are just going to watch. We're going to make fun of and laugh our balls off, and it'll be great.
I can't wait till the second movie. What's the next one's going to be?
Believe the second one. Should I announce it now?
Fuck, we might as well. I don't know. Have you talked to me about it? I don't even know what it is. Shit, I'm actually excited. What are we going to be doing?
Sorority Babes at the Slime Ball Bolorama.
Wow. I'm looking forward to that.
And they recently made a sequel to that movie that was made in the early 80s. So I'm going to rent that and just be stupid and watch it. It's going to be great.
Straight to video.
We're not showing two, by the way, guys. Next time we're going to be showing part 1. The classic, the original, the one that we can really safely laugh at. Cool?
Yeah, fucking A, man. I'm looking forward to it.
So the theme of today's show, let's just get started off right now. And I hope nobody gets bummed out. But if you do, get your hankies out and don't leave. Just hang out with us anyway.
It's going to be a good show.
We're going to be talking about friends of ours who have moved on to the great by and by, who are competing for that big belt in the sky, brother. And we're going to get started with somebody who was particularly close to Chris here. So we actually made a video for him. The other guy was just going to talk about, but as far as this guy goes,
Wow. Man.
So that's Tony. Chris, what? Shit. kind of a geek am I. I helped make that damn video, and I knew it was coming, and it still choked me up.
Wow, that was
big thanks to Doug Damien for lending the assist, the layup to win that one.
great video. Wow, some of those old school shots, just fabulous.
I love that shot where those two cats are going to whip him into the ropes, and Tony just looks very humpty dump. Let's just get through this.
Yeah, man.
Let's go to the beginning. Where do you know Tony from?
Yeah, before I get to that, it just, the news I got this weekend was just like, fuck. Like, I actually happened to run into it on social media, a post that I found. I was like, wow. And I knew it was real because the person that posted it was really good friends with him.
Oh, it was Modest, right?
Mike Modest. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit. And I was like reading it, and I had to put my glasses on. I can really read this whole post. It was a long post about him. And I was like, fuck. So, I mean, after that, I reached out to Mike right away, gave him my condolences, and him and I had a couple of messages back and forth. And Mike's hurting right now because they were super close with each other.
Can I just throw out a craziness thing for you here? I was going to share it with you last week, but it was a pretty fresh sting. But when you brought it up on the movie night about you wanted to give a shout out to somebody who died, Tony Jones' name popped into my head. And I went, no. And I said, okay, who? And then you went, Tony Jones. And I reacted like, I think it was like, no, or something. That's because it freaked me out. I was like, oh, shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Tony, I'm sorry. Continue.
No, that's wow, man.
Poor guy.
I have no comment for that.
He died a week after his birthday. He died.
Yeah. And I remember seeing him posting things and talking about his family and saying, hey, thanks for the happy birthday wishes. Just, living his life. And then all of a sudden he's gone. Yeah. Oops. Sorry about that. Tony and I go back a long ways. I've known him since 1997. When I first started with APW, and he was definitely a level ahead of me getting ready for his first pro match. And I was just a beginner. And he was one of the first guys that really came up to me and started talking to me. One of the new guys, and just a cool guy, very calm, cool, collected. And that really made me feel special because a lot of guys were a lot standoffish. They were kind of like, okay, we're pros. And he's one of the first guys that came up to me. And that really meant a lot to me. Saw his first pro match. I was, working ring crew, got to sit there and watch, and he was great. And then he was just always really cool. Give me a few pep talks here and there, which is always nice. And then I had my first few pro matches, and he actually was my third pro match ever.
Yeah, nice.
And
I never got the chance with him. He was on my list of the 3 guys in California that I really wanted to work. I got 2 of them knocked off my list. And honestly, that was you and Frank Murdoch. But Tony Jones was that guy who I always wanted to get in with.
Yeah. And you would have loved working him. I mean, he looked really snug and stiff, like in the ring. But to be honest, man, he protected you. Like that was his sole goal. Sure. Like he
was still snug and stiff, but he just wasn't gonna injure you.
Yeah, and it still felt good. Like, okay, this guy's gonna protect me. And we had a really good match. And I remember I was a little concerned because one of his finishing moves was a belly off the top rope. And I was like, shit, man. I was like, okay. I was a little concerned for a minute. I was like, all right, well, I put my trust in him. And, honestly, the bump felt great. I was like, holy shit, man. I was protected. And
a little secret about wrestling that a lot of guys don't know is that the higher the bump, if you bump it right, the less it hurts. Like a schoolboy bump, just your basic standing boom. That stings worse than a top rope suplex, believe it or not.
Yeah, no doubt. But he protected me, and it was just such an easy match with him. Every time I worked him, it was easy. It was and it was good. And all these matches are like that. I mean, he worked a lot of guys in his time, and he was freaking awesome. One of the best shooters I probably seen in my life. He was the real deal. Like he could.
But he made a career out of actual wrestling, right? Wasn't he a coach?
He's a coach. He went to San Francisco State.
Right.
Like he was.
Chris, come on, God damn it. Well, while we're waiting for him to come back, stupid. I remember doing a match, and it was a really, really hard-hitting match. And I remember when one of my bumps, I glanced back towards the curtain, and Tony was there, kind of peeking his head out the little curtain, looking out at the match, which was cool. It's always nice when the boys are watching your show. But hey, welcome back, sweet tits.
What happened?
I don't know. You clicked off. You left.
Oh, shit. Well, all right. I thought I got kicked out.
I do the match, and I roll out, and I'm gassed. It was a hard-hitting match. I believe it was with Apple Bomber. And I come back through the curtain first, and Tony was standing there, and he goes, "One of these days, wild man, one of these days, it's going to be you and me." I was like, "Oh, dude, I hope so, man. I really want it." He goes, "Book it." Like, yeah, okay, yeah, because I could just book my own shit, right? He was funny. So anyway, but you're back, so continue.
Oh, I didn't hear. I heard like part of your story.
I was just saying at a show once, I was doing a match. I believe it was with Apple Bomber. Glanced back at the curtain, and Tony was peeking his head out the curtain, watching the match. And when I came back, he cut me off. He's like, "One of these days, wild man, you and me, do it. Let's do it."
Oh wow, damn.
Back, and I remember that show. Everybody was creaming their panties because Modest was there, and I was creaming mine because Tony was there. I always thought he was just pound for pound. Like I'll say this about the training at APW. They have turned out some of the finest in-ring talent out there. Like Tony couldn't get on the microphone and talk at all. But if you're going pound for pound, hold for hold, he was definitely one of the best. He was way up there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think his promo skills, definitely weren't the best. And if they were, yeah, he would have definitely made it to the top level. He
would have got that TV shot instead of Modest. Because let's be honest, Modest wasn't that great on a microphone. He wasn't a better wrestler. He just had Roland kind of pushing him on and kind of leaving Tony behind. But if Tony could talk, he'd have definitely got that big booking.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I don't remember the story I was telling until I got kicked back. I think I was talking about a class that was going on. And
he came over and said hi to you. Everybody else was being like, "Oh, let's fave this kid."
No, the one I was talking about, him and Manny were in a class together, Fernandez.
Oh, okay. No, go on. You didn't even tap on that one. You must got kicked off first.
Oh, shit. Yeah. So everybody knows Manny Fernandez. He's
the Raging Rapist.
The Raging Rapist, crazy shooter. And so there was a class with all the pros, and Manny was kind of doing a tutorial, and Manny was saying something, and Monos wasn't even there, but there's a lot of them were there. Manny's yeah, I could tap anybody out here, and he just talking a bunch of shit. And so Tony kind of comes out, and Tony's like, "Well, we can throw down, we can roll down a little bit, we can push around." And he's like, "No, that's cool. I'm just messing around." And Tony's like, "No, we're serious like that. Let's push around." And it kind of went back and forth for a couple minutes, but Manny knew. He's like, "Yeah, if this guy gets a hold of me, yeah, he's gonna fuck me up." But
here's another quick one for you about Tony, and it was that same show that I was just referring to. I don't remember who it was, but somebody was just in the back, yep, until finally Tony goes, "Hey man, you talk a lot. Why don't you just shut the fuck up already? Everybody's tired of hearing you." And he saw who said that, and he didn't respond at all. He's like,
yeah, he's like, no.
Because Tony will change your diaper, dude. He'll fucking take you down right there. It doesn't matter where.
No, absolutely. And he actually showed me a few things too when I was starting out too, and I was like, I really appreciated that. So kind of get where my some of my shoot skills came from him. So thank you, Tony.
You got no shoot skills, pussy. Who said that? God damn it! All right, we're putting this show on
Black
hold
Diamond.
until somebody fesses up. Who said that? It was me. Who?
I think it's Black Diamond.
That fucking guy.
Yeah,
Woo.
that guy's a fucking crazy fuck.
That guy's trouble. That's actually who it was back when I had that conversation with Tony. I was in the Black Diamond mode.
Wow. But yeah, just a great guy, very educated, very cool, great talent. Yeah, we lost a great person.
Right. Okay. So let's go ahead and put a pin in that. Let's move on now to somebody who's got very close to my heart. And that's the guy who trained me, of course, Mr. Paul DeMarco. Paul was really something. You know, he very inspirational. And he believed in the business so much that he opened a wrestling school. And to do so, he sold off his condo, went out and bought himself a little travel trailer, rented a warehouse. He got one of those old school 20-foot WWF spring rings from way back in the day.
Damn.
And he lived in that little travel trailer and started the Pro Am Wrestling.
Yeah, I can't.
You there? Can you hear me this time?
I can, yeah.
All right, guys, look, if that goes like that again, we're just going to cut the show. I'm having crazy internet issues on my end. But DeMarco, you know, he dethroned Dory Jr. to become the AWA champion. I remember him doing the Russian gimmick. And the thing about Paul was he'll fuck you up. He'll drag you in that ring and he'll give you a whole new definition of stretching. He knocked me clean out when we first started. But he was also a very open-hearted and very giving person. And he really, really cared about the boys and the business. Now, Paul was also what we call a hooker. You know, he was above the shooter. He was a top shelf badass who, and I'll tell this story real quick, and I'll tell it because I knew back when Shiki was alive, he was okay with it because he used to tell the story that he was having a bad day and he was booked with DeMarco, and he got in the ring and decided that he was going to take some liberties on Paul during their match to start getting uber stiff and uber rough. And Paul gave him the 1 potato, 2 potato. When they got to 3 potato, Paul just snapped off and whooped the shit out of Iron Sheik to the point where Sheik went to escape, trying to get away, crawling under the ropes. Paul grabbed him by the foot. Sheiky slipped out of his boot and hit the fucking dusty trail, man. He was gone. He went through the locker room with 1 boot, grabbed his gear with 1 boot, jumped in his rental car, and bailed, dude. He was gone. So when Paul comes back, he's got Sheiky's boot in hand. He goes, "Where the fuck is Sheik?" And they're like, "Dude, he's gone. You'll probably see you'll see him tomorrow night." So tomorrow night comes around, and a very humbled Iron Sheik, "Fuck your ass and make you humble." A very humbled Iron Sheik walks up to DeMarco. "Oh, Potty, baby, you know Sheiky love you. Sheiky, sorry." And Paul walked over and gave him a hug and goes, "Here, this is yours," and gave him his boot back. And that night, Sheik was on his best behavior because Paul whooped his ass in front of a full arena. Are you still there, Chris? Wow. Okay, there we go.
I'm here.
Keep getting that stupid marker. I keep getting that stupid marker that we're getting kicked offline.
Dad, damn it.
So let's just be safe here. Let's pick up. I think we're gonna get knocked off here. Let's pick one more guy, Chris, out of the 2 that I suggested. Why don't you pick the next one?
Let's talk about Snuka.
Snuka, lovely, brother, lovely. Yeah, Snuka. Go ahead, fire off, dude.
Snuka was an interesting guy. I say my first interaction with him was the oh gosh, well shit, the tag match, the tag match between him,
Oh yeah,
you
the
and
big
I,
one.
the big one, yeah.
I
Of
was a
course, I
big
was
fucking
late to the show, so I'm sitting
Yeah.
there scrambling, trying to get to the main event.
Well, you and people watching this around the country or around the world don't have any idea. When I say he had to drive from San Jose to Marysville, but that drive in good traffic is like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So you worked all day, got off work, just hauling ass to get down to the venue so you could be a part of the main event. And you came rolling in about 20 minutes before the main event, something like that.
I would say 20 minutes before the main event, getting there, scrambling in. I remember Snuka back there. Glad to join us, brother. He's
Well,
sitting
look who decided to show up, brother.
Yeah. Like, hey,
Lovely,
Jimmy.
you could join us.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there trying to get my shit changed, and
he was busting your balls the whole time. You know, Robbie showed up on time, baby.
the whole night, man, just busting my balls. But so we're sitting there getting ready for the match, and we're sitting there changing, and of course, TK is just being a little bitch like he always is. And
oh, come on, let's be fair. Sammy didn't really know you yet. Actually, I should say.
No,
and he was these guys. You know these guys. They're worried. You're only as good as your last booking, right? And they're afraid. Oh, if I lose, well, that's for us. You're only as good as your last booking. But in WWF, it was that way. If you had a suck match, you got knocked down low on the card, then eventually put on the seat. In the lose, or I'm going to be garbage. I'm not. It's going to be harder for me to get. Fuck that. You're right. Fuck Sam. He was being a bitch that day.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, you're cutting out, but that's okay. I heard part what you said.
Continue.
Okay. I think we're back on the air now. I don't know. I heard choppiness. Anyhow, so he's bitching about the match and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there listening. Like,
well, he was bitching about jobbing. He didn't want to get pinned.
All right. Let me finish the story. All right. So, anyways, so he's bitching, and fucking Snuka says, I'm going to smack in your fucking mouth. You're laying down for the kids.
Yeah, brother, if you don't just lay down for the kids, I'm going to smack you in the fucking mouth. And you remember how fucking pissed I was before we actually went through the curtain? I'm standing there at the curtain. Our music is playing, and I'm staring daggers at Tonga Kid. I was pissed.
He did business, though, because fucking when Snuka spoke, and that was like the first real interaction I had with Jimmy. Of course, him busting my chops when I got there, but that was funny. Like, I had a good time with that. But yeah, he got serious real fucking quick for having fun until going to Sam and saying, I'm going to slap you in your fucking mouth. I was like, oh shit, this is getting
down
real.
For the kids.
Sammy didn't say shit.
No, but you didn't know there was that funk happening yet either about Sam bitching about doing the job. And I was like, look, Sammy, it's not like I'm going to hook you and roll you up and pin you clean, dude. I'm going to swat you with a belt, right? That's anybody's going to lose to that. What's the problem?
Yeah. The only part I heard when I got there was because I knew there was something going on. Is Sam was like, "Oh, I just can't believe I'm laying down," and it's like he was contemplating, and that's kind of
what. It was right before we went out. I remember he was saying, "Rob, let's switch this real quick. Let's think of something else before we went to the ring."
And is that when Jimmy said it?
Yeah, that's when Jimmy popped off. He had the big Snuka eyes and all that, and he meant it. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? We're about to go out.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, well, Savvy didn't say shit after that, dude. He's like, oh shit, Jimmy's gonna whip my ass, dude. So,
and the entire show, dude, I just bumped my dick and balls off for him, dude. I let him smack me pillar to post in that match because I knew I was going over, so I was gonna get him over. It's like he wanted to get over and then go over.
Oh yeah, he wanted the whole fucking thing. Like we both bumped our balls off for him.
Yeah, but I was talking about me in particular because he was so upset that I was the one who was going to pin him. So I was like, I got to make him happy. I got to make everything right here. So I'm just I don't seem to recall having shit for offense against him. Really, I just took it all.
I think you started off with him, and then he fucking bumped you around. Then I got in the ring. Him and I pushed around a little bit, and that was pretty fucking much it until you and Jimmy never got in with each other until towards the end.
Till the end, yeah. Well, that was the big tease. I'm not afraid of you. Fuck you. And then he gets in. Oh shit! And I run over and tag you. That was fun. That was the big tease of it.
Yeah, and then you tagged in Sam and fucking him and I. Yeah, it was
right.
Anyways, but yeah, that was my first interaction with Jimmy, and fuck yeah, I'm sure you got a story about him as well. You have a little more. Info.
Hang on 1 second. Apparently, we're both pricks.
Oh, okay.
Fuck you, Mickey. And let's go ahead and say, what's up, Alani?
Alani Barrett?
Alani. Yeah, I'm pretty new to this whole reading thing. Oh, shit. Hang on. Is this the nurse? Oh, God, look. Goddamn Marty, dude. He's been drunk as shit lately.
God.
Hang on. Marty, what's up, brother? We're on the air.
Oh, how y'all doing? Is anybody gay?
What's that?
Is anybody gay?
Besides me and Chris, we're totally gay for each other.
What is wrong with y'all? I asked y'all to quit so me and you could be gay.
I can't. What? Hey, you can join the fray, brother.
No, three-way, Marty.
Oh, you don't share. That's your problem. You're a selfish bastard.
Hey,
he shares.
Hey, what I call you, a girlfriend? Don't do that.
Oh shit.
She loves watching men, but she loves women.
Well, Marty, literally, we're on the air doing WestleShoot, so I'll buzz you back after. All right.
All right, bye. I love you.
Love you, brother.
See ya.
Bye.
Fucking Marty, drunk again.
Fucking and Marty, man.
When did Paul pass, Doug? I couldn't find a date. I just Googled a minute. But let's be honest, Doug. I mean, Paul was 116 when we were there, right? I mean, there's no way Paul's still up kicking dust. But
there's no way, dude.
I didn't find his actual date of death, oddly enough.
Dude, he was wrestling in the 60s.
No, he was wrestling all the way up until the early 80s. But yeah, you're right. He was wrestling in the 60s to back your point.
Yeah, late 50s, early 60s. I was looking him up actually recently. Actually tonight, fucking when we were talking about him. And yeah, he's
gotta love that guy.
I met him once. And I was just starting out. I was just a beginner, and I know he came down to our school because Roland was a huge mark for him as well.
Now, let me guess real quick. He shook your hand, and then he grabbed you by both shoulders and kind of gave you a little bit of a squeeze and a shake, right?
He had his hands on me, yeah.
I go.
Nice to meet you, kid.
Good kid.
And that was pretty much it. And just a quick shake, and that was it.
And real quick, this one's for Doug Damien. Ahem. Me. Private club. Okay, that's it. That was for Doug.
Okay, good impersonation.
And I know he was laughing. Private club.
Private club.
Fucking Paul.
That's awesome.
So Snuka was a super alcoholic. And we knew that. We didn't necessarily help with his sobriety. The couple of times he came out, he would say, I'm thirsty, brother. I'd offer him a water. He'd give me Snuka eyes. Then we go to the bar.
Yeah. Fuck, we partied hard with him. That God, man. He can drink.
In fact, you gave a good Snuka, so let me give a good one. And this is not saying that I'm proud of it, but it happened like this. We're going to a town called Modesto to get ready to do our show the next day. We stopped off at, I think it was an Applebee's, halfway there. And the manager of the restaurant saw Snuka and said, hey, listen, guys, if you will take some photos or sign some autographs or something like that with my crew, everything's on the house. Well, Snuka would sign any autograph and take any picture with anybody anytime. But you throw a free bar tab on there, he was real excited to do it. And he spent what 45 minutes doing it. Customers of the restaurant, whoever came up, he'd sign a napkin for him. We talked to him for a second. It was just it was a hell of a thing to see with as big of a star as Snuka actually was. That he still took the time to do that without a second thought, without any hesitation. He's just like, "Oh, lovely, brother, come in, boom, take the picture."
That was great. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then anyway, so we left Applebee's not really realizing we were already fucking hammered. I didn't realize I was hammered until we were on the freeway. And I was like, oh no, I'm drunk. We got to get to the fucking motel fast. I think we were only like 30 minutes from it.
Wasn't great.
No, this did not end in anybody getting arrested, but it did end in us running out of fucking gas. So we called Sumate back when he was known as Rage. And said, brother, I know you're in Modesto. Can you come help us out? So, of course, he hauled ass right down there to give us a hand. And Snuka was sitting there in the passenger seat as we were on the side of the road out of gas. And he's like, you know, we're going to be in the papers tomorrow, brother. I was like, probably not tomorrow, probably the next day. He goes, no, we're going to be in the papers as professional wrestlers arrested for DUI. Oh, God. Then he got me all, which was stupid. It was a car on the side of the road. It wasn't obstructing traffic. No reason for anybody to really notice us, but he freaked me out. So now waiting for Suma to show up. I'm sitting in the driver's seat, completely panicked, thinking like, oh, maybe we just get out and sit on the side of the road. We'll be okay. And Snooker's like, I'm not sitting on the fucking sidewalk. Fuck that.
Oh, man. That was an issue.
Oh, God, Snooker. So let's hit one more while we seem to still be doing okay.
Not yet. We're actually better. It's actually better now.
Let's get into Cheeky baby. Cheeky baby. Oh, Chrissy baby. Cheeky tell you.
Oh man, I don't,
there's so much that can be said about Sheik, but one of the most influential memories I have of Sheik was I woke up and there was a knocking at my hotel door, and I open it, and Sheiky's standing there. First thing I see is he's got 2 Starbucks coffees in his hand. And he hands me one, and because I was hungover, I'm like, oh, thank you, Sheiky. I look up, and he clearly had just been crying. I said, Sheiky, what's going on? And he walked in, sat down, and he said, Eddie's gone. Eddie died. And I was like, Eddie Guerrero? And he just started crying again. So we sat there at the table, sipping Starbucks and crying together for about 30 minutes. Whole time I'm here, the promoters blowing up the phone in the room, trying to figure out why we haven't come down for breakfast, if we're even in the hotel.
Wow.
And we finally just kind of got our shit together. We smoked a joint and went downstairs and had some breakfast. But the whole day was fucked, man. The day that a big part of professional wrestling died, and me and Sheiky fuck.
The hell?
God damn this internet connection. So look, let's just take it home with that, dude. And Sheiky is gone, and I'm gonna end it with this. There's only, I can count the people on one hand of this business who have died that have upset me to the point of tears. And Sheiky, you were one of them. Well, you know what? Let's get time to slip in one more. We can't in good conscience end WestleShoot talking about our fallen friends without talking about Mr. Porter.
That's important.
And he's another one that I can count on the one hand that I just became a blubbering basket case when I heard that Mike died, because I didn't even know he was sick. Like he kept that very, very close to his chest. He did.
And one of the fuck it, man. The damn is best ring announcer ever. Fuck yeah. I'm putting it
up. Wait, hang on. Try that again. You tripped over it. Try that one again. Ready? Go.
He's the best damn ring announcer around. Ever. I'm saying it now.
And it's funny because, I consider Porter and Alan Bolte to be a couple of the greatest ring announcers that ever graced the planet. And I remember one time telling Alan, what a big fan Mike was of his. And he goes, "Oh, man, tell him to call me. I'm a big fan of Mike too, man. He's really, really good." And I told him, it's like you guys have that. Porter does the New York style and you do like the Georgia style. And
Yes.
I love it.
They are both great fucking announcers. I think to me, my opinion, what sets Porter apart is he had a little more comedy to his act. Like
Yeah, he had jokes.
it kind of flows. Like, okay, he's got a little more. Alan's great. Don't get me wrong. He's proper, the suit, fucking dressed to the nines. Awesome. Alan Bolte's great, but Porter just kind of had a little more comedic to him, and that's what I appreciated.
I remember going to Alan and saying, "Man, look at that suit, dude. You look great." And he's like, "Well, come on, Rob. You know as well as I do. You always got to look like you have more money than everybody else in the room." And I kind of chuckled about that. So I relayed that to Porter, and he goes, "Yeah, but I'm funnier." There you go.
And he was.
Mike Porter was a complete all-around entertainer.
Yes.
He could sing. He had fucking jokes. He had timing. He had absolutely zero stage fright. He was a very complete all-around entertainer, and he could bump.
Yeah. Yes, he could. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I definitely couldn't go off the air. And we really got to do another in memoriam show for Mike because he just did so much in the business that people I don't even know are necessarily aware of. Like the fact that for us to do WestleShoot back on the radio days, one of the terms of it was, well, I need one of you guys to come in here and run commercials for the Sacramento Kings games. Porter did that every game. He never wanted me to do it. He's like, I got this. I'm very comfortable doing it. But he put in that massive behind the scenes work. When I was trying to book cards, because I didn't have anybody to bounce ideas off for quite a while, I would go sit at Porter's house. We would sit in his front yard under this big, glorious tree, this oak tree that he had in his front yard that just put off that amazing, perfect combination of total shade and enough lights coming through where you can write. So we would sit outside and write cards. I mean, he did all this behind the scenes shit that he never got credit for. And I know a lot of people go, yeah, big deal. A lot of us did. Not a lot of announcers did.
No.
I can't think of any announcers who would sit there with the promoter and write a card.
It's wild. I remember when I first knew about him, obviously knew him growing up as a kid, but I actually got to work on the show was your show. And I remember we were in conversation. Remember when you first booked me? You're like, yeah, I'm going to Porter. I'm like, seriously, Michael Porter? I'm like, fuck, that's awesome, dude. Like,
I remember that started because you asked, is that fucking Ron Head still coming down as your announcer? And I was like, no, I fucking ditched him. I got Michael Porter now. You went, get out of here, really? Yeah.
So that was awesome, man. I got to meet him, and fuck, man, him and I used to chat it up, and he used to tell me some stories. I'm like, damn, dude, and give me a little knowledge as well. I was like, damn, I always learn something when I talk to Porter, which was fucking cool.
And I remember when I first met Porter was at, I can't say whose show it was, but I remember him walking up to me, a big old smile on his face, and he goes, hey, great match. And I went, oh my God, thank you so much. And he goes, by the way, my name's Mike Porter. I was like, are you high? I know who you are. And this big smile that he got, he goes, really? I was like, what do you mean, really? Everybody here knows who you are. He's like, oh, that's really, really cool. And then remember that slime dog idiot who used to follow Porter around?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there. And he walks up, and we were out there in front of the crowd. I was doing my meet and greet for the first time with Porter. And there was a crowd of people around us as I'm signing autographs. And this guy starts, hey, blah, 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 talking about his match. And I looked at him and said, yo, kayfabe. And he got quiet. And I was like, all right, Mike, I got to go get dressed, man. I'm getting ready to go to work. And he's like, dude, it was really nice to meet you. And Slime Dog goes, excuse me, Mr. Wilds. Before you go, I just wanted to ask you a quick question. I said, okay. And he goes, who's kayfabe? And I looked at Mike, said, dude, handle your boy. And he goes, he ain't my boy. We just went our own ways. Saw Mike after the show at the after party. He was there. I hung out with him all night.
Yeah.
Very, very cool guy. I met Mike. I truly miss you. I know I say it every time we talk about you, but goddamn, dude, you were a good one.
And he loved his beer.
You were the best of us. And he loved his beard. I don't know if he loved his beard more than he loved his werewolf gimmick he would do for kids with his dentures. Did he ever show you that? Yeah. For those of you who don't know, he had this big, all the way complete, huge, poofy beard. And he would ask the kid, if you want to see me turn into a werewolf? And he start shaking and he start pushing his dentures out, but he pierced his lips real tight. So he got that extension on his lips, like in the movies when they're changing. Sometimes kids loved it. Sometimes they cried.
Yeah, fucking A.
And when they cried, I'd give Mike a little pepper. And he's like, oh, thanks for making that stop. I'm like, don't scare kids.
A little pepper. A little work punch.
He'd say, oh, fuck that. Life is a scary place. Let him get a helmet.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. So this was, Jesus Christ. Look, we went 41 minutes. So we did okay.
Fucking A.
Yeah, fucking A indeed. And yeah, dude, I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we got into talking about some of the people that we've loved and lost.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, if we're going to be completely honest, everybody we went over, besides Tony, and only because I didn't really know him, dude, I had huge bucket loads of love for.
Yeah.
So I hate it when you think you have control over your emotions and then your throat starts to tighten up on you. I hate that. I promised myself I wouldn't cry on the air, and I'm not going to. And just to prove it,